wanted to talk to you about the secrets of starting your own successful business. Woohoo! You want to start that successful business, but there's a lot of planning that goes into starting that successful business. The American dream is always and always will be to come up with your own idea, start a business, become rich, all from your own efforts. Based on this motivation, thousands of businesses fail every year, primarily by not being too familiar with the basics involved with running a business. This live will enlighten you and give you a number of suggestions that you can use to better guarantee your chances for success getting started in business. This live is with a warning though. Any kind and every kind of business venture contains a certain inherent risk. So knowing that, there are a number of alternatives. I am just giving you my opinion. Now, there's so many different suggestions on what to do, but before you start any business, you really need to seek the advice and counsel of an accountant or an attorney. Just about the first thing you should consider before deciding to start or purchase a business is the legal form and operating that you're going to have it under. There are basically four choices: sole proprietor, partnership, limited partnership, and a corporation. Each has a number of advantages and disadvantages. So I'm going to try to explain them to you in simple terms. As much as anything else, for many people, starting a business is a form of ego gratification and the form of a corporation of some sort of prestige to say, I own a corporation. With just a little bit of observation, you'll find out that one of the major causes of business failures is due to the founder wasting startup capital on frills, such as impressive storefront offices, expensive furnishing, and corporate legal costs. One of the basic traits you must develop is to have a successful business, is to hold tight onto those expenditures. In fact, a good rule of thumb is that anything that does not make you money or protect your investment, you should not spend money on it when you start your corporation. Unless you have a partnership and you start your business as such, the only real advantage of forming a corporation would appear to be a corporate structure will semi-protect you and your property from what you own. As an example, you own a car and a home. You form a corporation to protect these possessions from a business loss. Yet, if you're found guilty of misconduct of corporate funds, your business creditors can pierce the corporate shield and come after your personal possessions. Basically, if you invest everything you have in your business, as most newcomers do, you don't really need a corporation to protect anything. Your household possessions, personal belongings, generally your car, and even a portion of the equity of your home is protected by the homestead provision of the Federal Bankruptcy Act and cannot be taken away from you. As a sole proprietor or partnership of a business, you'll be paying taxes on your overall earnings. Much of the same if you were holding down a salaried job or an hourly paid job. Whether or not you take money out as a salary is a bearing on your earnings and also on your business tax returns. The often advertised advantage of incorporating is that you can manipulate your salary in order to save on tax dollars is real because of corporation laws. However, the IRS frowns upon this in practice. When your business is successful and making lots of money, definitely check with your accountant to the advantages of incorporating. I have this one hair sticking up. Sorry, I've got to get that taken care of. It's driving me a little crazy. There we go. So as a corporation, you'll be subject to a number of these drawbacks as well. Generally higher taxes in your states, concerning the operation of your business, stricter laws, more elaborate accounting procedures, and also legal paperwork that's required with every major move that your business takes. Thus, your legal and accounting fees will be much higher as a corporation than required for a sole proprietorship type of business. As a sole proprietor or partnership, you'll find many advantages required and you need to register the name of your business. The cost, however, is minimal and generally ranges from about $5 to $100. About the best way to find out if the laws apply in your area is to call your bank and ask if you need a fictitious name to run your business over. Settling for a name of your business is very, very important, and particularly relative to advertising. Your business name should describe the product or service that you're offering. Fancy names such as Linda's Clipping Services will lose potential walk-ins and passerbys. Customers to the beauty shop across the street that calls itself Patty's Beauty Salon or Jane's Hairstyling Shop, people will just walk into that. Whereas Linda's Clipping Service, is that for a dog clipping service or a hair salon? The advantages of using your full name in the title of a business such as Johnny Joe's Meat Locker has an advantage, making credit much easier to come by, providing you pay your bills on time, but it also includes the disadvantage of combining your services to a local area or region. Should you buy or lease a space for your business, think twice before you make any major decisions along these lines. Most businesses tend to grow quickly and never really get off the ground. There are a few exceptions, but in very few, they tend to grow at a modified rate. So buying a piece of property and settling your business within that property obligates the ownership regardless of whatever happens to your business. Leases are also very strong contracts written by lawyers to protect the people that are leasing out to you, the property owners. When you sign this agreement to pay somebody to use their space over a length of time, you're nailed into paying for that space regardless of what happens to the business. In the beginning, it is wise to either get short-term leases or arrange a rent with option to lease at a later date. This does not apply to retail businesses unless the particular business happens to be an untried one. Definitely you should open up a business banking account. In selecting a bank for your business, scout around and look for one that can help you with your needs. You want to have a close relationship with your banker. You want to know what kind of loans they have, how many loans that you can get. You also want to be acquainted with the bank employees. Just as a doctor or specialist in this field, you want to go to them for any kind of financial problems. You often you also find that different banks specialize in different types of business. So some of them do real estate transactions, some of them do import-export businesses, or just manufacturing operation businesses. Some of the questions that you can ask your banker is number one, is it necessary to maintain a certain balance in your account before the bank will approve you? 2, what qualifications must you have in order to obtain a line of credit from the bank? 3, and what about checks what is the bank's policy regarding a size of a check that might deposit that requires holding for collections? And what about if the check's less than that amount? Does it immediately get credited to my account? In most types of businesses, you will also have to set up some sort of credit card system so that you can take credit cards through your business. 90% of all my businesses are credit cards now. So it is so important to have a good credit card processor that doesn't take a huge amount of that money from me. For corporations, you'll also want a corporate resolution approving of the opening of your business account. There are several different policies in just about every state regarding hookup charges by the telephone, the utility companies. Some require a deposit, some don't. You'll also find in a great number of cities that license your departments are solely for collecting taxes. Depending on the type of your business you're asking for a license for, the building and zoning people may inspect your premises to see if it's safe and if you have to have any kind of city licensures. Also, sales tax permits are very important. Each state rules and regulates very widely. Many states require an advance deposit and wholesale prices. You also have to register with offices in your local area. Should your business entail selling your products or services across state lines in other states, you're required to collect taxes. And make sure and check with your local IRS office. Some states also require certain business licenses to hold state licenses, such as a TV repairman. Other occupational permits could be for barbers, hairstylists, real estate, and other consumer-related businesses. If you have any doubts, check with your local and state offices. Any type of businesses that do interstate commerce are also subject to federal regulations, usually through the Federal Trade Commission. It can be even the smallest mail order type of business. Normally, few people ever have any contact with the federal regulatory systems, but if you get in any kind of trouble, they will contact you. There's also a number of businesses that require inspection by fire marshals and the fire department approval. Generally, these are ones that handle flammable materials. Maybe they discharge things into the sewers, the waterways, or they have a gas burn producing product or a paint sprayer, or a business that burns anything. Without any doubt, you need to check your local regulations and find out what you need and what you don't need. Some other things to consider before you're opening your business is if you tend to have employees, you need to find out about income taxes and Social Security payments and have an EIN or a federal tax number. Most states do have unemployment taxes. You need to deduct this from your state or from your employees' paychecks. Again, you have to check with your local IRS office. You also need to find out about minimum wage laws and also overtime. When your business grows for additional help, don't be afraid to look and hire for people to have you focus on what needs to be done in the business. When you do need to hire other people, your business continues to grow, you need to make sure that everything is taken care of. Regardless of how small your business is when you begin, never walk into it with it as something to keep you busy. You really want to work on establishing your business, and you have to have an attitude that your business is going to be successful in order to reach that financial freedom. And those businesses that look at it as just busy work are the ones that usually fail. You want to do things that produce you income. To protect your business, you're going to need insurance. It could be business insurance, workman's comp, general fire, general liability, business interruption, vehicle coverage. You also might want to protect against burglary, robbery, life and accident, keyman, and fidelity bonds. As a sole proprietor of the business, you won't be paid as an employee, so there's no income taxes deducted from whatever you withdraw from your company's earnings. What you do have to do is gain and check with the IRS for the Small Business Tax Guide handbook. The minute you open your doors, you spend some of your time engaged in bookkeeping, get a good CPA that knows what they're doing. If your business is going to involve a possible purchase or lease of operating equipment, ask for help from your tax advisor. I won't go into all the advertising of products, which is a totally different thing. You need to keep that in mind, though. You need to advertise your business. You're going from obscurity to oversaturation. You have to pay for advertising, but the cheapest way to get your name out there is publicity and get in the news or media for good things. In closing, the most important ingredient in your eventual success will be the soundness of the planning you did before starting your business. Any number of bad things can really throw your business into a tailspin. But if you've done your homework well and you've really set it up and you have a detailed business plan before starting, your losses or setbacks will be minimal. Success takes planning, and with this live, you've got a basic checklist. Now the rest is up to you. Good luck, and may your life overflow with success in all that you undertake from this moment forward. You guys have an amazing day. I'm Christy Ogle with Sometimes Spouse.